Hi, my name is Clarita Thompson. I'd like to welcome you to my Texas Lesson Study Performance task. Let's get started. Our objectives for today will be to review how the Texas Lesson Study, or TXLS, elevates teachers' ability to implement effective instruction, and we'll review how I will contribute to the growth and development of the TXLS program at Region 11 district or school. Where the teachers have a wealth of knowledge about PLC and using data to make informed decisions, the Texas Lesson Study professional development will build and add to their knowledge and experience. It's about elevating teachers' ability. The Texas Lesson Study is a process for driving instructional improvements and, as a result, student learning outcomes. The Texas Lesson Study is a process where, through collaborations, teachers drive improvements to their teaching and learning. And it's also an opportunity for teachers to engage in cycles of continuous improvement where they examine a problem of practice, plan instructional solutions, teach, observe, reflect, and share the results of their work. The Texas Lesson Study process is a proactive approach and not reactive. So often we begin with the end in mind, which is still applicable to this. However, teachers would actually design a lesson, teach the lesson, assess the lesson, determine what was not effective, build or reteach, and then reassess. With the Texas Lesson Study, teachers collaborate before teaching the lesson to design lessons that positively impacts student outcomes. So there are 5 phases or 5 steps to the Texas Lesson Study phase. It's really 6 if you don't consider the center part, which is before the teachers begin. Before the teachers begin, they will form their team. The teams can consist of 3 to 5 teachers that teach the same grade level or the same content area. With that team, they're determining who the facilitator will be, the note taker, and the timekeeper. These roles can remain the same or they can shift from week to week. It's however that team decides to design that. Step number 2, before the teachers begin, they'll schedule the team meetings. And step 3, they'll establish the norms, roles, and procedures. It's so important to determine who the facilitator will be, the note taker, and the timekeeper, as mentioned a moment ago. Phase number 1, develop a research theme. Teachers will develop a research theme, and they may be able to also add in or consider an enrichment component as well. 2, they're going to agree on a focus or problem of practice. And 3, consider a theory of action. Some examples would be their instructional strategies. Okay. Phase 2 of the Texas Lesson Study is to dive into research. With diving into research, teachers will be using professional development resources, academic resources. Step 2 is to review the curriculum and instructional materials. And step 3 would be to review and plan the research lesson. Phase 3 of the Texas Lesson Study is teach and observe. Teachers are planning for the observed research lesson and teaching and observing the research lesson. Phase 4 will be or is the reflect and revise. Step number 1 in phase 4, it will be to review the observation data, student work, and assessments. Remember that teachers are actually having this opportunity to collaborate about these things. They'll add notes to the original lesson and incorporate their learning into the unit. And step 3 would be to repeat phases 3 and 4 with the revised changes. Okay. Step 5 or phase 5 would be to invite others to observe their lesson study meetings or research lessons. Those that they're inviting to observe these lessons could be their administrative team, fellow teachers, representatives from the district, as well as representatives from Region 11. Step number 2, they'll determine how and where they're going to share their learning. And step 3 of phase 5 is one of the most important, is to celebrate. Teachers' ability to implement effective instruction will be elevated when they collaborate to learn and put into practice the Texas Lesson Plan Study. I will contribute to the growth and development of the Texas Lesson Study program at Region 11 District or School by utilizing my wealth of knowledge and experience to implement the program's purpose, goals, and objectives. It's about a partnership, and it's also about collaboration. And so Per the Texas Education Agency request, this would include supporting district and campus leaders in examining and improving instructional practices. I envision that this will occur through the reflective, collaborative conversations. It's also one of the requests by TEA is collaborating with TEA and possibly with other regions. I've added that part in there because it is so important to kind of have an idea of what others are doing as well to create a sustainable culture of continuous improvement for adult learning. And the third request is receiving feedback from those that I support as to what successes they are achieving, as well as any barriers that they've encountered in implementing the Texas Lesson Study. Just as we want the teachers to reflect on their practice, I would also want to reflect on the practice of our teachers being successful with implementation of this, and if they're not, what changes or modifications or what support can be provided. I would also be deepening my knowledge and understanding of the Texas Lesson Study tools to effectively support and equip district and campus leaders with the knowledge and skill set so that they're able to lead and support their teachers with using the tools and resources. One of the things that we don't want teachers to view this as something else or something new. It's really building on what they already know, but giving them another lens, another perspective, and another way to utilize what they know to effectively and positively impact student outcomes. Ensuring that the purpose of the project is at the forefront each day in working with district and campus leaders to establish a clear plan, provide data-informed actions to ensure that the district and campus instructional leaders are prepared, provide professional development and continuous support, and align and coordinate with ESE staff to integrate lesson study curriculum based on the PLCs as well as overall improvement. I envision that the Texas Lesson Study or Region 11 support would be a continuous cycle. At the core would be Region 11 support. We're supporting the district and campus leaders who are supporting the teachers who are supporting and creating positive outcomes for students. And it's just a continuous positive cycle of improvement. I would like to thank you for your time and consideration. I do not take this opportunity lightly, and again, I would like to thank you. There are resources that have been embedded and included within the presentation, and then also giving credit to Slides Carnival. Again, thank you so much for this time and for your attention.